Roger, thank you. Sorry, TV to 360, 503 channel 5.
Yo, what up, JJ? Welcome in, man. I'm glad you enjoying saying tensions there, man. That's good to hear, man. That's fantastic to hear. Fantastic to hear, man. But welcome in, um, everyone. We're gonna do a flight here in the TBM today, and try to fly out the Telluride. And as you see by the thumbnail, we're at elevation 5,000. We're rounding it up to 6,000 for takeoff performance purposes. But we are on a TBM 850. We're going to do a flight, like I said, to Telluride, going up to 9,000 foot elevation. Right now, it looks like the weather's showing to be favoring the runway 27 in Telluride. Weather looks good. Weather's good here in Alpine, Wyoming. This airport actually sits right on the border of Wyoming and Idaho. This is a nice looking scenery. This is 46 uniform. Air Park. So we're gonna fly out of here to Telluride. Depending on how I feel, I may end up doing a flight back to here. This may even also be my go-to air park to fly out of. It's pretty nice. This scenery is on flightsim.to. It's a freeware scenery upgrade that actually looks pretty decent. Doesn't look bad. Looks pretty good. As you see by the thumbnail, they actually got open hangars out here. That's the elevation dropping down there. Okay, I was about to say, is that just a roof on the ground? But yeah, it actually looks pretty good. Good looking scenery. Um, it's not bad looking. We'll kind of get a look around as we taxi. We're going to taxi and take off runway 31 in the TBM 850 today. And it'll be a departure to the north. We're going to pick up our IFR clearance once we get in the air. Since there's no clearance on the ground, it's a phone number you can call, which is Salt Lake City, but obviously we can't do that here on the ground. It'd be cool if they eventually add that. I know I saw somebody in the forums on the Discord and saying that it'd be nice for them to add that feature for like places like this where you can't necessarily take off from these. You can't get clearances from a frequency. You have to call a phone number. But this TBM is pretty detailed. It's the black square TBM. Looks very nice. It's very well done, well modeled. Look on the inside here. It looks good. The window shades doesn't work, but the overhead lights work. Armrest up front works. And actually, I have to fix my my payload. So we got full tanks, 1,962 pounds of fuel. It's going to be 4 of us here in the aircraft. Actually, 3 of us. Myself, person over there in the right seat, and it'll be 1 more person in the back. The only thing that they don't have is the tow feature. I was hoping that we could tow it. Otherwise, I would have left it in that hangar that's on the thumbnail and just towed the aircraft out of there for engine start. But it's quite a bit to the airplane that they have. If most people haven't flown this aircraft already, the ice boots work. So this aircraft is certified to fly into known icing conditions. Actually, I need to go up front. From what I've seen, though, some folks don't actually use the front door here. They just climb in through the back and walk up to the front cabin. But let me get right here. Show you guys. Just click that button there, and we click this one over here beside him. If I can get in here enough. There we go. And this raises the cowlings, the engine cowlings. We can see that. Inspect, make sure we don't have any bird's nests or anything in here. Actually looks pretty good. Now let's see. I think this thing holds a gallon of 12 liters, 12 quarts. I think it's like 12 quarts. That's double what it takes for a piston. Like a Bonanza or so is, I believe it's 6 or 7 quarts. This one's 12.7. Yeah, this is the engine housing, or engine bay. They actually modeled this very nicely. It looks pretty good. Also have the pitot covers, the cowling covers, plugs. Keep bugs and birds out of it. Actually looks pretty nice. Even got the numbers on the hoses, the induction, brake fluid there. Actually looks very good. Looks pretty cool. So yeah, let's hop in. We're going to take off. It's VFR. So again, we can take off out of here VFR and then pick up our IFR clearance in the air, which is what we'll do. So let's hop in the back of the aircraft. We'll close that door and then get everything started up. Close our door from the front there. Yeah, I got to put the passenger weight back on there because I don't have it on there correctly yet. Let's see. So we're just going to reach in here. This puts the chocks in the back of the aircraft. Go up the stairs. Reach back and close that. Push the button there, close the main door. Make sure it turns green and locks. Alright, we got green and locked. We'll kind of shimmy up here to the front of the aircraft. Get up here beside our other pilot here. Let's close these cowlings. Close that. Let's close that one. Let's close our door. That's already up. I'm really enjoying this. I did some test flights on it yesterday just to kind of get familiar with the aircraft. It's very nice. I like this airplane. So let's see. All right, parking brake is on. All of our breaker switches are in. No issues with them. All right. Okay, yeah, that's right. All right, that's all squared. Good to go. Nothing here really to look at. We only want to show active there. So again, our payload, we're taking full tanks on fuel. So we got 1,962 pounds of fuel on board. Gross weight is 7283 of max takeoff weight 7430. And we have, I believe, 541 pounds of payload. That includes the nose baggage, the rear baggage, and the 3 occupants on board. And we're going to be cruising at flight level 290. So this will actually be the first time I cruise this high in the aircraft. Actually, let me close the baggage door. I can close that from the EFB. All right, we'll raise the bar up. We'll go ahead and turn oxygen on now. We'll turn it on for them as well. It doesn't actually kick in until we're above 14,000 feet. So let's go nav. We'll leave it on post lights. We don't have ground power, so let's see. Ignition's going to be auto. We're going to turn it on the battery and try to go through everything as quickly as we can, at least get the engine started and go from there. So we don't drain the battery. But for now, let's actually turn the battery on. Set the flaps. Go prop full forward. Our flaps showing fully extended. Let me finish checking some other things here. All right, master's off there. That's off. Bleed air condition is all off. Let's see. All of our DI switches are off. Gears handle is down. EFIS is off. And again, our lights up top are all off. So let's go battery on. Verify our volts. We got right at 25. And let's get the, all right, we're full forward there. Everything else is what it's supposed to be. I'm going to get it started here. We don't have a, it's weird, this airplane doesn't have a beacon light. All right, we'll yell clear prop and get her started here. Let's turn on the inertia separator. And we're going to set auxiliary boost pump to on. Fuel selected auto. Shift. Let's check it again. It should shift to the left. It does. All right, that works. All right, let's start the ignition switch. We'll set this to main as well. We're looking for 13% NG. Then we'll introduce fuel. All right, there's 13%. We'll go low idle. All right, watching the ITT. Oh, it's kicking way up. Roll back. All right, it's rolling back to the green. We're looking for 52% NG. And we'll turn the starter off. There we go. Off. Aircraft looks good there. Alright, we're gonna set auxiliary pump to auto. That's still on auto as well. Let's get masters on. Get that on. We'll get these on up top. Those all on. Let's switch to standby generator. I think we gotta hold it. Yeah, it's carrying the load just fine. Does it give us a standby indicator? It does not. Alright, back on main. We get taxi light on. We got post lights on for landing lights and such. That off. Let's get the EFIS on. Off. Let's get bleed air to auto. Air condition coming on. It's 44 degrees outside. Get the temperature up in here. Alright, we're going up to 29,000 feet, so let's get that set. That's what our cabin altitude's gonna show. Alright, diamonds are 29 right there. So we'll be at 9,000 feet in the cabin, which basically we can leave it at that. Actually, we gotta go +5. No, that's just for elevation. That's where we'll be at. Alright, that stays about the same. Alright, temperature's increasing in the cabin. Turn that on. Let's turn our secondary on. Squawk altitude. Alright, we get pitot heat. Stall on. Windshields on. We'll run some tests here on some annunciators. Test this. Make sure let's turn those back off actually. Light test. All our lights are working. Good there. Let's test the annunciator for the terrain, and we'll run terrain test.
Sync rates.
This is already tested out as well. Let's test that.
500.
Up
Pause system test. Okay.
and down. Check. Get that on. We're gonna test on the autopilot. And we'll test the ECS, make sure it's hard to see with the sun on it, but the light lights up there. We'll test our secondary here. That checks out. We get lights on, masters on, ITT test. Master caution comes on again. ITT light illuminates and extinguishes out. Inertia separator is on. We're going to set this to 29,000 feet for now. And let's test the autopilot. Turn it on. And heading mode. Alright, it's turning left of the heading. To the right, looks good. Let's kill the autopilot. See, and that's what the autopilot does. It's supposed to do. Now, I think it's different in the Aerostar, but most autopilots, when you pull a circuit breaker, the yoke resets back to normal. So we'll put it back on. Alright, it killed it like it was supposed to. That checks out. Once that finishes doing its test, and we'll clear that out. Let's test our radios and make sure they're good. Those are all golden. We are going to monitor number 2. See charts for where we are. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. I just set this in here last night, and for some reason it kicked the approach plates back out. So we can't use this. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it then. These frequencies should work. Yep, frequencies work. We'll set that. Switch that over. AWAS is 1925. Yeah, I don't know why that's kicking it out. Oh, 19925. Switch that over. Oops, wrong one.
Aero 25. Density altitude 5500 feet. Alpine Airport, automated weather observation. 1855 Zulu. Wind calm gusting 10. Visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature 6, dew point -5. Altimeter 3025. Density altitude 5500 feet. Alpine Airport, automated weather observation.
All right, that checks out. We'll drop that off. And for Salt Lake City, if we were going to pick up when we leave out of here, is going to be let's see, it's going to be 28,350. Put that on standby. All right, so this is what the weather looks like in Telluride here. It's 3033. Pressure isn't much different. It's a little higher than it is here. Winds are west southwest 240 at 10 knots. Clear skies. Temp is 7. I think it's a little colder here. We got 45. Let's switch to that 7. That's about the same temperature there as it is here. Again, clear, automated with precipitation sensor. Yeah, then it's the TAF. Yeah, weather's going to be good by the time we arrive, so we have nothing to worry about for that part of it. Yeah, so that's what we're looking at there. Let's go back here to maps, set this to GPS, and we're going to get the get a flight plan, upload the flight plan, import. That's on, enter, so we see traffic around us. There was some traffic flying out of here. All right, 46U to KTEX, that checks out. Again, we're going up to 29,000 feet. Let's preview this and where we're going. Checks out. Can't select any of these, but that's where we're going to be going. And again, we're planning for runway 27, so we'll probably have to overfly the field or so and test it out from there. Now, the cool thing about this aircraft is with the shift button on the ground, it switches the tank every 75 seconds. In the air, it's every 10 minutes. And because we have it set to auto, it does that. So we don't have to flip the tanks, switch the tanks around. We also got the manual gear. If we can't extend the gear, we lose power for some reason. It says this handle, we pull the switch up to release, and we have to pump the handle here 65 times in order to fully extend the gear, which is pretty cool. And you'll probably get pretty strong on that arm for 65 pumps there. Let's see, what are we? 3025, 5640 it says. So we'll send that up here about there. Alright, we got the autopilot set. Alright, get flight director back off for now. Let's see, we rotated 85 now. As far as our flight plan and information goes, for takeoff out of 6,000 foot MSL, which I'll show you guys here as well, I'll bring it up. for what we'll be doing. I'm gonna read it off, but you guys can at least see the chart as well. So this is what we're looking at. Let's go. Takeoff power, standard day. We're again rounded up to 6,000 here. We'll be covering, or should take about 2,800, almost 2,900 feet of runway to take off at max gross weight. So we'll likely be taking off probably closer to 25, maybe 26 on a rollout. We'll be doing normal cruise, which we're 29,000 feet, so that's in between these two and what I've come up with as far as numbers go. If I did this right, I'll be able to test it out. We'll be 105% at 29,000 feet. We'll have a fuel flow of about 60.5. We'll be indicated airspeed of about 207. The true airspeed I think is going to probably be closer to the same as this 305. We'll be covering 1,240 nautical miles at normal cruise versus 1,378 at 30,000 feet, if I calculated this correctly. And then climb performance should take us 18 minutes to get to top of climb, and we should burn about 20 gallons of fuel for climbing out at 130, which would probably end up nosing it over and climbing out much higher than that. We'll be 48 miles out for top of descent at 230 knots if we do that, going down to 10,000 feet. Actually, hold on, it says 21 miles. I didn't write that down. Distance to climb is 48 miles. 48 nautical, about 48 nautical miles is what we should see. And then descending down to around, we'll say 10,000 feet. Or we can use the other method here. Let's see, let me take that off. From 29,000 feet, we'll be going down to 9,000 feet. Or actually, we'll be going down to pattern altitude, which is going to be, let's see, let's get that more correct. Uh, 9,000 feet, traffic pattern, let's see if it has, no, it doesn't even have it there. Now let's go full screen then. Oh, 10,500 is what we'll say. So 10,500 minus 10,500 equals 18,500. So we need to delete 18,500. I think that one was divided by 3, I think. Oops, wrong thing. Dang it. Bring my calculator back up. Oh no, hold on, I did the wrong thing. That's why. Clear. 18 divided by 3 will be 6. 6 miles out. And then if we're at 230, well, it really should be ground speed is what it should be, because that's indicated. And we'll kind of figure this out the more I fly this airplane. Let's just go 280 ground speed. Divided by 2, 140, add a 0, so about 1,400 feet per minute from 6 miles out is what that should be, or 6 minutes out, I think it is. I get it confused slightly, but all right, so that's what we're looking at. Got the aircraft started here. We'll bring flaps up here. We're gonna go over the checklist here in the aircraft as well. Let's start the clock timer. Start that. Let's bring up the checklist. Go over that. Hey, I gotta go way back here for our checklist. All right, we've already done the pre-flight. Let's get to after engine start. All right, gyros are all on. Suction is good, which is over here, our gyro. We got that set to slave set. Radio master's on, prop de-ice on in green. We tested it or checked it. It is. Turn it back off. We'll do an airframe test as well. Prop. Show you guys what the weather boots look like. De-ice boots look like. Wasn't sure that it was going to be simulated, but it definitely was. We got windshield heat on, and it's showing on. Let's see. Lights are extinguished. There's no lights up there to turn on with it. It does for pitot though. We turn those off. We get pitot 1 and 2 on, light on, then back on, lights extinguished, master caution out. Those are good. Airframe de-ice. Let's see. I think we're in a good spot right here. Our slipstream here should be just off the corner of the building. There shouldn't be in the way. We need to raise the NG up to 80% or higher. I'll show you guys what that de-ice looks like. So let's bring prop up. Bring our power up to about 80%. So we got to get the bleed air into those boots. So we need the bleed air from the engine. And again, we have bleed air set to auto, so we'll test the boots. Again, we're going to flip it on. Each light will illuminate. I'm going to just leave the camera here so you guys can see it out there on the wing. Bring that on. We'll see the lights illuminate. We got the outboard inflated, and then they'll deflate, and then we'll see the inboard, and the light will switch over there. Light out, light on for inboard. Then light will go out when it deflates. All right, that checks. They're deflating. We'll shut that down. All right, prop de-ice boots are good. Bring power back. All right, so that's checked out. Make sure I got the one above it. I did. Inertia separator's already on. Ammeter's below 50 amps. It is like 10 or 15 or somewhere in there. Generator select standby, which is what we checked earlier. Set it to standby mode. Tells us what we're getting on standby. And we'll set it back to main. Verify volts were good. 0 or charging, which it was. Generator back to main. Flaps, get flaps up. The indicator showing the flaps increasing or retracting, my mistake. Bleed air is set to auto already over here, and it's also said if we're not getting the cabin heated up enough in flight at altitude, we can set the bleed air to high. It'll kind of help with heating up the aircraft a little bit better. Let's see, 145. What time is it? Ooh, actually I forget I can use the timer on this one. Let's see. Cursor. Actually, alright, that'll kick up when we take off. It should. Let me see. Okay, yeah, nothing there. Alright, master caution out, but that flight timer should kick on once we get in the air. We'll use that for now. Alright, fan flow is set. Air condition is on. Cabin temperature is good. We're at 70 degrees here in the aircraft. Airflow distributor is set. Cabin altitude is, it's supposed to be plus 500. I don't know. That should have a plus sign instead of a negative sign, I feel like. But it is what it is. Weather radar is on. EFIS is on. Autopilot trim master's on. EFIS HRS source is left side. As it shows, electric trim is tested, and we can leave it there right in the middle, I suppose. Actually, let's get it to the lower part of the green. Set, taxi light is on. Inertia separator, annunciator is illuminated. It is. We'll release the parking brake, check our toe brakes, and go from there. And then we'll do the before takeoff at the end of the runway. Like I said, we're going to be going to runway 31 for departure, and going from there is the plan. All right, let's go. Let's see. Good up top. We got oxygen on both, so we don't forget those. Again, this bird's looking good. We got all our cameras set from back here and up front. Wish we could see all the people in the aircraft. We got that camera. And from what I've deduced, it takes about 12 seconds to drop the gear and 13 to raise it. Based off the flashing light. I got to do something with that camera, switch that out. Also, I forgot to check this light that shows down. Test 1 and 2, that's good. It's the only thing I believe I forgot to test. Let's see. I hold this to test it. Guess not. Nav page, fuel, date and time. Let's set this. We are full fuel to destination. Fill that destination. Specific range in gallons. We'll leave fuel flow right there. We can see that a little bit better from that unit. All right, let's go. Parking brake off. Let's taxi to the runway. All right, my brakes. And Alpine traffic, TBM 7 Kilo Golf is taxiing from the west side of the hangars to runway 31 Alpine. I think we're at the west side hangars. Let me verify that. Yeah, that's where we are. All right, let's go. A little bit more power sitting down here at oh, wait a minute, hold on, that's why we're not moving. We're supposed to go up to high idle now. Forgot about that, my mistake. All right, we're clear right. Pass by some of these nice hangar houses. It's a beautiful day. Got the lake out there. It's going to be a beautiful departure. Let's go ahead and start recording right now. Guy has a helicopter. This has got to be the coolest place to have a hangar house. Ground's not that greatly modeled here. Let's see, look clear there. Runway looks clear down there. I'm not hearing anything on CTAF either, so we'll call it good. Let's taxi on. Let's get lights on. Make sure our strobes are working. Okay, they're working now. Everything's working. Alpine traffic, TBM 7 Kilo Golf is back taxiing runway 31. Alpine traffic. Somebody's got a Vision jet over there. Another aircraft there. Our helicopter. Somebody's got a TBM 930 over here. Like I said, this may end up being my place to do my GA flying out here in Wyoming. Alright, so it's right pattern for 1-3. That means it's left pattern for 3-1 then. Standard pattern. It's got quite a bit of little hangar houses out here. You can taxi from in each of these areas too. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. That's the hangar I actually took the picture for the thumbnail at. Let's do right toe brake, left toe brake. Inclinometer is going opposite the turn. And the supposed airplane is turning with the turn, which is the white bar here. That's the actual airplane indicator. Says winds are calm. Supposedly. It's another little cool hangar place. He's got the windsock right in front of his hangar to see whether or not which way the winds are blowing. It's got to be a beautiful place to stay at. Looks this good in the Sims. Got to look great in real life. Even better. Alright, we'll taxi down here to the end. Now also, most of these aircraft that you see are from PSXT static aircraft. They're not a part of the scenery. But again, this is a freeware scenery from flightsim.to. There's currently no traffic around. Taxi all the way to the end for our departure. We've already did a terrain test. We get parking brake set. That's already been tested. And then we'll do this here. Do our run up down here at the end. Got some more aircraft sitting out here on the ramp. It's pretty cool. See, I want to get somewhere where we don't jet blast anybody. Let's swing it around over here. Swing it around right here. There we go. That should have us out the way. Let's go park and brake on. Alpine traffic, TBM 7 Kilo Golf, clear runway 31. Alpine. I set that. Alright, let's do our run up. The other cool thing I do like about this aircraft is the run up is fairly easy. It's not a whole lot to it on the run up. It's pretty simple. Alright, let's prop up to 1900. We're going to do a prop governor test. Let's go back. Too much on the prop. That looks about right. Do a prop governor test. We're looking for this to drop to 1800 by just clicking and holding that button down, and it does. And back up. Alright, we'll exercise the prop. From what I'm told, you're supposed to let it stay. Hold it there for a few. It's supposed to not drop below 15, I believe. Doesn't. We got torque drop and back forward. Get oil pressure decrease there. Do it twice. Actually got a decrease in oil pressure. And prop back forward. Alright, prop governor we already tested. And release power level flight idle. We got no fuel imbalance. We got auto fuel selector set. Boost pump is set to auto. Auto fuel selector will hit shift to get it back on fullest tank. Flap set. Pitot heat 1 and 2 are on. De-icing we don't need. Inertia separator is on. Advisory panel we got beta. This always, for some reason, the way my flight controls are set up, that's just gonna illuminate, but these will be the only two showing. Set parking brake and inertia separator, which that's what it shows. Engine instruments all look stable and normal. Flight controls, we haven't checked that. Left up, right down, right up, left down. We can't see the tail from up here, so aft and forward, rudder right, left, checks out. Flight controls checked. Meter's good still. It's just above 0. Trim is set. Parking brake will release it. We'll make sure the light extinguishes as well. We got strobes on already. Then before takeoff, we got HSIs matching the compass here. It almost does. That's it. East. Why is this hasn't? I can't even mess with this. I can't even mess with the HSI to change it. But that is definitely off. No, that's not that one. It's a HSI. It's supposed to auto fill with it on its own. That is definitely not lining up with the compass though. This doesn't work. This doesn't do anything. Let me retest this one. Alright, that works. Forgot to test that one. Yeah, it's still not lining up. We'll see when we line up on the runway what it does. 'Cause I have no idea how to set that the correct way. VOR, HSI. I can't even adjust that one either. Alright, well, we're good there. Altitude check. We got 29,000 feet we're climbing to. Altimeters are set. Let's check the ATIS one more time.
Our observation. 1955 Zulu.
Set, weather radar
Wind
on.
290 at 10 gusting 1A.
Ignition is on
Visibility
auto.
10. Sky clear.
Lights are off.
Temperature
Lights
7.
off.
Dew point
Transponder set.
-7. Altimeter 3024. Density altitude 5700 feet. Alpine.
700 feet. Slightly about 100 foot above where we are. Dial that back 1. Alright, parking brake released. Again, we're 100% on the torque is what we'll be going for. Then we'll engage the autopilot and such to that. Alright, my brakes. We'll be departing to the southeast. Let's taxi down here though. To the end. Got the fuel station there. Like I said, Pretty nice scenery. Very nice scenery. We got lights on, strobes all on already. And Alpine traffic, TBM 7 Kilo Golf, entering runway 31 for departure to the southeast. Alpine. Got another TBM right here too. I think a King there sitting next to it. Alright, we're lined up. We've got 3-1 showing here. Compass is off slightly. Compass is right. But this is lined up with the runway as it shows. We'll do runway heading. Direction to take 145. Alright, the course is already set. That's good. Alright. Gonna go, let's go 100% on the torque. It's gusting out here. Airspeed's alive. Jog torque. We said we're going to take up about half the runway. There's 85. Rotate. Hold the brakes. Gear up. Dampener going on. Ooh, you know what? I made a mistake. We took off with no flaps. We were supposed to take off with takeoff flaps. That's my mistake. And Alpine traffic, TBM 7 Kilo Golf is on the upwind, runway 31, Alpine. Let's climb. Straight out. Let's get that nose pitched up. Yaw dampeners on. We get taxi light off. And that's that. We're getting hit with this turbulence out here. Start our turn. Definitely windy out here. Inertia separator going off. Get our power back. The airport down there. Get on course. Alright, let's go. Edit mode. Autopilot engaged. Pitching for 15, actually let's set 16, 1700. All right, let's switch over to Salt Lake City. Hello, Salt Lake City Center, TBM 417 Kilo Golf. We just departed Alpine Air Park, looking to pick up our IFR clearance to Telluride. I forgot to give a little bit more information there. Gauge that.
TBM 417 Kilo Golf, Salt Lake Center, cleared to Telluride via filed route. Climb and maintain VFR below 18,000. Altimeter 3021. Runway 9er in use at Telluride. Advise when ready for approach.
Wow, that's a lot. All right, cleared to Telluride via filed route. We'll climb, maintain VFR. Actually, we should be picking up a IFR flight plan. We have an IFR flight plan on file. I think. Hold on, let me make sure I filed it as IFR. I thought I did.
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, IFR clearance available. Advise ready to copy.
And TBM 7 Kilo Golf, we are ready to copy IFR clearance. Watch our cabin.
Give me 1 second for that clearance.
Pushing about 130.
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, cleared to Telluride. Direct Euro code, then is filed. Squawk 5253 and ident.
50 mode. We'll kick it up to 121. There we go. All right, cleared to Telluride. Direct Euro code, then is filed. Squawk 5253 and ident. TBM 7 Kilo Golf.
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, readback correct.
Alright, we're going direct to
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, radar contact, 2 miles northeast of Double L Ranch Airport at 13400 feet. Etna altimeter 3021, cleared direct Euro code.
activate. Let's go nav mode.
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, contact Salt Lake departure on 133.25.
Alright, over to Salt Lake departure on 3325 TBM 7 Kilo
Salt
Golf.
Lake Center, log 41, good day, flight level 400.
Yeah, we got cabin pressure climbing. Good so far, temps still good in the aircraft. Switch over to 13325. Hello, Salt Lake City. Departure TBM 417 Kilo Golf is 15.7, climbing flight level 290.
TBM 417 Kilo Golf, Salt Lake departure, good afternoon.
It got busy pretty quick. Alright, through 16,000, still doing 130. And we got torque set to right at about 120. Doing 66 gallons per hour so far. Turn landing lights off. climbing like a monster. Let's drop back to about 14. Keep that 130 at least. Let's go 1200. Alright, let's get the checklist back up. Landing gears up, flaps retracted, power levels checked. Climb altitude, we are set there. It's plus 1,000. Cabin climb rate is about 500 to 700, it says. Let's see where that's at. I don't think it's going to move or climb much because of where we're going. So I don't think we're going to see much of a climb on that. I got winds 51 knots on the tail, 52. Nice. We'll take it. 19,000.
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, contact Salt Lake Center on 128.35.
Over to Salt Lake Center on 28.35, TBM 7 Kilo Golf. Good day. Just switching it back, right back to them. Let's pitch for hello, Salt Lake City Center, TBM 417 Kilo Golf, back with you, passing 19.8. Chart torque.
TBM 417 Kilo Golf, Salt Lake Center, good afternoon.
Torque's good, everything looks good. This thing actually switching on right tank. Alright, it's switching. We're burning fuel now off the right tank. Yeah, I don't believe we're gonna this is actually gonna climb much. Alright, so let's see. Ready to climb. Altitude 9,000. Put us at close to there. Alright, we're looking good though so far. Through 21,000 feet. Still doing 1,000 feet a minute. Cabin differential monitoring, temperature good. We're still 71 degrees in the cabin. Fuel quantity balance.
Salt Lake Center 1-4.35. Thank you. Good
Let's leave
day.
it on manual for now. We'll leave it on the right tank because we need to get that a little bit more balanced. Alright, 21. We got 60 knots on the tail. Don't need any de-icing. We have one can stay on. We don't need prop de-ice. We got no precipitation near us. Also, our alternate, if we can't land in Telluride, is going to be Eagle Lake or Eagle County. That's where we'll be going. I forgot to talk about that earlier. All right, that checks. Transition altitude, altimeter. Oh, we need to set this to standard. My bad. Standard 29902. Cabin pressure, monitoring post lights off. I guess we'll just get the post selector off. No de-icing, the inertia separator is closed. We have no heavy precipitation or icing conditions to be of any issue for us. And we'll get cruise checklist going shortly. is 828. Alright, we're still in the green. That's the other thing I forgot I gotta watch out for, because we don't want to increase the ITT by increasing the torque and cause an issue there. 23,000, we got 66. This one doesn't even show my ground speed on it or distance to anything, so it's kind of crappy. Alright, we're doing 234 across the ground though. That's what I want to check. So GSX is not working, unfortunately. I have no idea what's wrong with it. It hasn't loaded all day, so I don't know what's going on with it, but I want to check something with this, see how much of this is actually working on here. We don't have contrails, so that's not a big concern. I got all of that stuff. Dirt, alright, not much. Do 24,000. Set that back to about 800. ITT looks good. We're at 64. ITT is 830. Let's see, we're supposed to be doing, let's see, about 105 it says. Fuel flow should be around 60.5. Alright, do 25,000. PSI is increasing. My differential is 4.5, looks like 5. Cabin altitude is going to be 9,000 feet. It's showing 9,000 now. We're going to set that, once we get the cruise, we'll set that 500 above that. Let's set this to speed.
Spanish gas 5931, 186, I'm following the T4. I follow 320, Sky 5931. Another rise in the climb, Sky 5931.
Install it if we're doing the speed. That's for sure. Have no live ATC over Telluride, unfortunately. Alright, that's even now. We'll set that back to auto. There we go. Feet. So you got 297 miles to go. And the TBM. I'm going to show you guys when we get to cruise what the de-icing boots look like on this aircraft. We're doing a de-icing. Alright, this says 105. I think max ITT is 850 if I'm not mistaken. So even though we can do more torque, we don't want to have a high ICT. Yeah, so 101 ITT is 827. We want to be at about 105 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 105 is what it should be. So we'll double check that once we get to cruise. We're actually getting a little bit of a contrail. That's funny.
About 36
I don't know how that's possible. We produce that much condensation out of it. 447. I think the maximum PSI is 6.2 if I'm not mistaken. Alright, got under 1,000 feet to go. Alright, so flight time, we're 21 minutes, and I believe it said we should take about, it said it's supposed to be 18 minutes to top a climb. We see some clouds up here.
Alright, we'll expect this guy's sitting down there.
We're coming up on 29,000 feet. Energy is 101 and 82. Got the arm and altitude. No, not 30,000, it's 29. I accidentally put 30,000. Yeah, let's descend back down. Alright. Back down to altitude. So let's see if we make sure we don't burn up the engine here. Like I said, the plan is 105. If I have this correctly. Oh, actually, I can't even change it. All right, with full power. Okay, so it does that on its own. All right, we can't overfly that. Just don't want to overdo it during the climb. We still have more power to push. So indicated was supposed to be, if my calculations are right, should be burning 6.5 on the fuel. Getting 700 out of the 730 horsepower out of this right now. We got 60, yeah, that's about right. 60.7, 60.5, all right, I got that right. Indicator should get up to about 207 maybe. We got our fuel correct. We just don't have the get the IT, not the ITT, but the NG, we're at 101. Close though. Alright, cabin should be at bit 0, we're at 6.6. We got it set for 9.9. Alright, cruise power level is set for performance. Fuel quantity is good and somewhat balanced. It should switch to left tank here. We just shifted. Alright, now it's on left tank. Cabin pressure is good. We're good there. Traffic showing up here on radar, de-icing. Looks like we're above those clouds. We'll keep an eye on it as we get closer. We'll get that stuff on as needed. Mission is, we're below 200 indicated as well. So as long as we're below 200, we can kick the inertia separator on if we need it. Be good for me.
Getting them to continuous light service here at 330. We'd like to press 320, please.
Alright, we're looking good. Doing just above 180, about 185. We're doing 361 ground speed. Jeez. Can't beat it. It's negative 42 Celsius outside at 29,000 feet. Times 2 is... let's see, might as well be 30, be 59. So neg 59 plus 15 is negative 44 is what the standard's supposed to be. And it is actually 2 degrees warmer, so not bad. We're burning about the same amount of fuel that we burn. So it's not making a massive difference on fuel burn for ISO deviation. So it's plus 2 ISO deviation. Make sure I have traffic is on. I'm seeing traffic there, but I'm not. Okay, there they are. They're showing up. Unfortunately, we don't have charts. Unfortunately. All right, yeah, we're above that cloud.
Center, United 2128, checking in 350.
Again, wish I could pull up the wish I could pull up some things for the charts on screen, but unfortunately we can't. Yeah, since we're in cruise, let me see if I can show you guys the video.
2128.
Actually, I'll show it on the ground. I don't want to crash the PC somehow for overloading it if that happens. But I was testing it out in Canada, and it seemed to have been fine. So not bad. We'll turn half bank on. Everything else looks good. And let's see something here. Be parking on the ramp. Again, I don't know that GSX is actually even going to work. To be of any use for us when we do get here.
577, take care, it's got 5930. Center United 2120, I'd like to request 310. What about the other 3848 is that?
Actually, we'll be parking over here.
United 2128, I'd like to request 310 for a ride.
They'll get us descended and then they'll
2128, requesting 310.
they'll get us where we need to go. Again, I'm not sure if we're gonna get anything
271.
as far as
277, American 137, call.
geez, 370 across the ground is insane. Just magnificent. So we can at least get our radio frequencies for the airport at the least.
5 scratch 14,000, highway 5.
Telluride, enter, cancel. Full frequencies. AWAS is 1832. That said, Unicom will be 23-0. Again, we got the weather there already. Winds are still out the west, so like I said, we're going to plan for runway 27 on the arrival here. We'll just get handed off to advisory since it's not a towered airport.
Calling calendar 2676, 20.7, climbing 240.
We got that traffic passing behind us. It's 2,500 feet below us. Oh, we got traffic up there.
Cross 40, miles south of Moss and St. James. Is that 240 from Scottsdale City?
All right, so we're getting good numbers here at 29,000 feet. We got TIT is kind of backed off. That's around 812. Pretty sure we're still burning the same amount of fuel. Yeah, a little bit under 60 now.
32.4,
prop at 2,000, what it says we should be at. We're getting 102 now on the NG. A little bit close to what we planned off by about 3. Looking good though, and again we're below 200 knots. So if we get in the clouds or so, we can always kick the inertia separator on still and still be good from there. If you guys want to see the engine stuff, I don't really look at this stuff because it's, unfortunately, it's not realistic. You don't see this in the real world. You have a JPI or like this device that's giving you engine monitor and stuff. So, but it is cool to see. I will say that. Let's see, what is our temps? It's cold in here. Let's get that temperature up. Cabin temperature up. It's 53 degrees in here. Let's see. Yeah, so now the inertia separator's open. We're getting all that good air blowing in. Not having to filter anything out till we get into some clouds. Then we'll kick the inertia separator on at that point. Cabin. Here it is, comfort's normal. It's green at least. We got 93 on a pulse oximeter. That means we're getting good oxygen in here. Got the tanks on there. Good there. It said if you click that, it starts to sound like we're actually using it. Oh, you do. You hear the breathing.
Coming to 410, 672.
Yeah, we'll use it. Sounds like we're actually breathing.
I request 300 for lease 59. 300, lease 59.
Oh, see, it's not showing. Okay, so we have to click those. And it's over here on purpose to cross because of how tight the cabin is. The captain reaches up and grabs that one. The FO reaches up and grabs this one. So we'll see the oxygen open for his side now. Should have already had that open, I guess. Cabin mask already good. All right, and our folks are just under 10,000 feet while the aircraft's at 29,000 feet. Again, 6 PSI there. Looking good. Temperatures are slightly increased. Let's set the bleed to high so we can get that temp back up. Starting to come back up. We're getting oxygen now. I like that they have that simulated, albeit in like the TBM aircraft I was looking at in the on YouTube recently. Yeah, the cabin is just pressurized already without the use of putting the mask on. That's kind of dropped back to around 1,800. All right, so again, we see the cabin temperature starting to increase there. We got that turned all the way up. Best we could do. Actually, let's do fan.
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, contact Salt Lake Center on 119.95.
Salt Center, Kodiak 93 with you off the ground at Alpine, looking to pick up.
And over to Salt Lake Center on 119.95, TBM 7 Kilo Golf. Have a good day.
.4354 to maintain VFR.
Hello, Salt Lake Center, TBM 417 Kilo Golf, flight level 290.
334 left.
TBM 417 Kilo Golf, Salt Lake Center, good afternoon.
Audio is sounding pretty good on these guys.
Delta 2811, climb and maintain flight level 350.
Wow, this is beautiful.
Mostly smooth, occasionally top. Drive 70, climb and maintain flight level 450.
All right, now fuel is flowing
Drive 70,
correctly.
just keep north of
Switching
some
tanks. as
Salt
it
Lake
should.
approach arrivals, then I'll have a right turn towards your destination momentarily.
And a little bit of turbulence. This area, actually, we're out of the area now. Say the area earlier was showing, yeah, we already flew out of it. It was kind of turbulent in that area.
2 Salt Lake Center.
Kind of getting bumped around a little bit here.
Allegiant 707 Salt Lake Center, Roger.
Oh, this thing's plummeting. Let's leave that on then.
Your eye for cancellation received. Do you want to stay with me for flight following?
I want to freeze to death in here.
Squawk 1200. You do have traffic approaching from the north. They're out of 9,500. They're about 60 miles north of the airport at this time. Radar service terminated. Squawk VFR frequency change approved.
3,000 feet, Salt Lake City, altimeter 303.
Yeah, that's all the way up. I don't know that I can get it any warmer in here. Alright, so we're going to set this to plus 500.
Gus 333, good day.
Call that plus 5. Needle above.
78 Echo, Salt Lake Center, Roger.
Slight increase in climb there.
BS0, flight level 310, looking for low.
Jet 3801 Salt Lake Center, except for 34 left, descend and maintain level 200.
Right here we're getting area up. Hopefully it gets it up to a warmer temperature.
127.9 thank you, bye, love to 1.
368 ground speed. This is wonderful.
Air Force 313 Alpha, Salt Lake Center.
It's 100 kilo Alpha, Salt Lake Center. The Salt Lake City altimeter 303. 303,
And just confirm it's Netherlands Air Force 313 Alpha in the block, level 240 to level 260.
Salt Lake America
GPS 1, which is this, and then the second one's this one.
137, Salt Lake Center.
The RNAV Alpha.
Got 78 knots on the tail.
Red 2 Victor Romeo, Roger, descend and maintain 14,000, Heber City altimeter 3022,
See the wind
and clear
correction angle
direct
we
to the
have
Heber
as
City
well.
airport.
That we were getting 151 nautical miles to Telluride from here now. ETL. And then Telluride.
Jet 3801 cross there at maintain
Just
17,000 and
outside.
280 knots, speed Salt Lake altimeter 3023.
Cross bear at 17,280 knots, with 30.
Jet 3727 cross there at maintain 17,000
Yeah,
and
we can see the
280
color here on
knots, Salt Lake altimeter
On
3023.
it changing there.
Cross there at 17,000.
Ice cold now to a teal color. Yeah, I wish this had a, I wish they would have put a
Stand by.
checklist on here instead.
Drive 70, clear direct.
At least one of these could have been a
Alpha.
checklist tab. Airplane's running perfect, looks like.
Expect runway 35.
It's cool, even the fuel goes from the tank, goes through a fuel heater, then through the filter, then to the engine, and then just the fuel cleaning unit, I assume, and then pumps it through.
Jet 3801 contact, Salt Lake approach 124.9 or just let him know.
Roger,
It's kind of bumping. Is it? I guess not really.
And Netherlands Air Force 313 Alpha, descend to cross Carter and block altitude 13,000 through 15,000.
Man, this is beautiful.
Key line 576, contact Salt Lake Center 133.9er.
That block 13,000 through 15,000 and 250 knots or less. Hillfield altimeter 3025. Thank you.
Yo, descend to maintain 13,000.
That's 93 for 0.
Catch you at 953, Salt Lake Center, roger. Next, intermittent, or mostly smooth. 5 seconds.
Approach won't be able to hear you with your descent there, but they did say to let you know there are a bunch of gliders near the Morgan area. Are you familiar with Morgan?
Denver Center 126.72.
There's direct Laker, Lima, Alpha, Kilo, Romeo, direct Hackman, under flight plan, rest of route unchanged.
Okay, direct Laker, then Hackman, rest of route unchanged, American 137.
Yeah, Jake 23, cross Spain,
let's see if we can get the
15 south at 250 knots, with always
Should
the
come in
altimeter,
range of it at some point here.
Report side.
That sounds good, yeah. Just stay with me, and that's probably the best option there. I'll let you know if those gliders do.
American 55, which is 130. For the most part, we're good.
5655, Salt Lake Center, you can expect some occasional light chop.
35 a good ride, or is that the same?
It's probably about the same. I would say everything up 1350 below is about the same. If you go higher than that, it may be more continuous.
Salt Lake River 17, 32, 350.
Ticket 1732, Salt Lake Center, engaging light chop.
Victor Romeo, this starts at descent, that traffic there. You're 2 o'clock, 5 miles, 8,800, and you might want to get over the CTAP to talk to that. So frequency change is approved, and you can report arrival cancellation this frequency or on the ground at the plane surface.
Got traffic passing overhead.
Victor Romeo, I for cancellation, C squawk 1200, have a good day.
Okay, if you're only 7 miles northeast of Ogden, give Salt Lake a protocol on 12, I would try 121.1. If no delay there, use 124.9er. 8.55, so it's 14. Have a great day.
Tahiti Airlines 8, Salt Lake Center, roger. Intermittent light chop.
Yeah, hopefully everyone.
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, contact Denver Center on 126.725.
Over to Denver Center on 26.725, TBM 7 Kilo Golf. Good day.
Sunset 592, cross Spain, at the maintain 15 south at 250 knots. North City altimeter 303.
Good afternoon, Denver Center, TBM 417 Kilo Golf, flight level 290.
TBM 417 Kilo Golf, Denver Center, good afternoon.
Golf Romeo, Oscar, Golf Denver Center, out there.
Jeez, we're kicking it. Look at that, 78 knots on the tail. Doesn't get any better than that.
Southwest 4263, Denver
We're only
Center,
3 degrees warmer at ISA deviation. +3.
Just some scattered light. Paragon Flight 144, contact inverse center 127.07. Contact at 123, Denver Center, over.
Tremble is fighting for its life. See what soft ride does. I don't know what that means or what it'll actually do. Just kind of slightly dampen the turbulence maybe. I can see the I can at least see the charts on ForeFlight. So we got 7,000 foot of runway. It is going to be a decline as we land on 27. 0.45, but I think we should be able to get it in there just fine. Also, I almost forgot to turn on my say intentions tab. See how well that works for you guys. Also, I need to move this now that I think about it.
One Charlie Echo and Thursday again.
I gotta move my other one down from top. It looks like there's a
One Charlie Echo, radar service terminated, block TFR, have a good day.
test. Oh, I thought I could slide this down. I can't. Dang it, I thought I could move that. I guess not. Dang it. I thought I could slide this around, but apparently cannot. It's kind of bumpy here. But supposedly, oh wow, this even has a timer on there of when we're supposed to get there. Let me change the, make sure the, you guys can actually read that well. Top. It looks like it's good. If anybody's in here and can see it, how does that look for you on the tab up there? Let's see.
Echo 681, contact Denver Center 127.02.
A tad bit darker like there. Alright, that should be a little bit better. That's cool though. It shows us en route, what time we left, what time we're supposed to arrive at 21:14. We're doing 309 true. At 29,000, we'll be late by 13 minutes. That is cool. ETE 19 minutes. Remaining 98 miles. Hey, I like this one. I forgot to turn that on earlier. Hear us breathing through the mask there. It's gonna be windy once we arrive here.
Dallas 2167 Denver Center, good road ahead.
And Man, this is beautiful. Yeah, but somebody did ask on the forum, the Sand Intentions forum, about them adding that feature of like being able to call ahead, like for GA stuff, you're calling the FBO ahead, and it still simulates it like you're calling the FBO or so. I think that would be absolutely cool. The same way we're getting our clearance on the ground, it's a phone number to call. So it'd be cool if we could simulate that somehow and call the number and like we're on the phone and let them know we're trying to pick up our IFR clearance before we take off. It's not really going to be an approach, it'll be visual. If anything, if it lets us do that, it does. Loaded at least. Should draw it on the map if I'm not mistaken.
American 1534, Denver Center, Climate maintain, flight level 2990. November 326 Lima Hotel Center.
Oh, we got some build-up right here. Denver Center, TBM 7 Kilo Golf.
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, radar contact 3 miles southwest of Pinion Airport at flight level 290, heading 157, continuous filed.
And TBM 7 Kilo Golf, we need to deviate about 10 degrees to the left, of course.
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, deviation approved, maintain current altitude.
All right, deviation approved and maintain current altitude, TBM 7 Kilo Golf. I don't think I really even did that well. Let's see. So, let's go that way. Let's switch the heading mode.
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, when you're ready, descend and maintain flight level 240.
All right, when ready, we'll descend and maintain flight level 240, TBM 7 Kilo Golf. It's kind of putting us right in these top of the clouds. Still kind of missing that right there, though.
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, descend and maintain 17,000 feet, altimeter 3032.
All right, when able, we'll descend and maintain 17,000 TBM 7 Kilo Golf.
Dallas 4052, Denver Center, roger. November 326 Lima Hotel Center.
airspeed. Send altimeter said 3002. 3032. We still haven't picked up the ATIS information.
American 1534, contact number 20127.02.
Cabin altitude set. So what's the temperature? It's almost 80 degrees in here. Jeez. Bring our power back some. Alright, fuel flow is good. The de-icing system will get on here. We start picking up ice. We are gonna get the we're gonna get below 200 though. Alright, so far not picking up any icing. Separator on here shortly.
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, descend and maintain 16,000 feet. Maintain current heading 150 vectors for the RNAV runway 9er approach. Altimeter 3032.
Alright, descend and maintain 16,000 feet and maintain current heading of 150 for vectors to the RNAV runway 9 approach. Altimeter 3032. TBM 7 Kilo Golf.
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, descend and maintain 16,000 feet.
Yep, we just said that.
And 0 at 12 gusting 16. Visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature 8. Dew point -8. Altimeter 3032. Density altitude 10,000 feet. Telluride Regional Airport. Automated weather observation.
200, let's get your nurse separator on.
2055 Zulu. Wind 270 at 12 gusting 16. Visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature 8. Dew point -8. Altimeter 3032. Density altitude 10,000 feet.
Back out 604, Denver. Set up and maintain flight level 330.
It's kind of ominous looking out here. Set bleeds back to auto. Mission's good. Again, not picking up any icing. Let me get prop the ice off. There's your separator going off.
November 107 Papa Mike, Roger, oxygen altimeter.
Fuel flow is good, we're balanced.
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, descend and maintain 15,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 15,000, TBM 7 Kilo Golf.
Skywest 46U-2, contact Denver Center 134.12.
He told us heading. So we'll switch to, oh, we are on heading mode. He told us stay on this heading anyway. Cabin lights off, altimeters check. 3032, descent height. don't need because we'll be doing VFR in. Good, and our separator will go off. We'll bring it back on shortly. It's already at max. We'll get that going. We'll continue on VFR. We're not going to continue IFR. Right now the winds are heavily favoring runway 27. We're not doing runway 9.
November 441 Kilo Papa, number 0 out there.
Then again, maybe we are. Looks like somebody's runway 9 right now.
7 Kilo Golf, 5 miles from ETL. Turn left, heading 140, descend and maintain 3,000 feet until established. Cleared for the RNAV runway 9er approach.
140. Alright, left turn to 140, descend and maintain 13,000 until established. Clear for the RNAV runway 9 approach, TBM 7 Kilo Golf.
TBM 7 Kilo Golf, radar services terminated. Telluride Airport at your 12 o'clock, 19er miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Squawk VFR, report cancellation of IFR or missed approach to this frequency. Take care.
Alright, radar service terminated, approved. And we're still looking for the airport. We'll go ahead and cancel IFR with you and continue on VFR. TBM 7 Kilo Golf.
United 639, diverse center from and maintain flight level 2990.
PSI is decreasing. Hearing something beeping. We get landing gear down. Let's see.
Flight 15, diverse center out there.
Oh, we've already blown past the airport. Let's do it right. Let's turn soft right and half bank off. Do a right turn around.
604, from and maintain flight level 410.
We're coming in high. That's why. Yeah, we blew right past it. It's still way too high. It's a 23-0 to CTAF.
TBM.
Squawking IFR, he says, or VFR.
November 326 Lima Hotel, go ahead. November 6 Lima Hotel, reserve radar contact 3.5 miles south Saxon at 8,000. And then also you're going to stage forward after an altimeter 2998.
Yeah, they're actually still landing runway 9 around there. Go back to the north.
November 79 Alpha Alpha, Denver, Northern. Is that Cathay 876?
Got behind it pretty quick.
Delta 876, number center roger. Dispatch to check on this. Delta 363, Denver Center, good right ahead. Delta 2565, Denver Center, roger. Roger.
Alright, let's get the nurse separator back on. No icing conditions.
Sector 604, contact Denver Center 132.17.
Separators engaged. Let's see, and Telluride traffic, TBM 7 Kilo Golf is about 12 miles west of the field, inbound for runway 9er at Telluride. Try to cut off in front of this guy.
Southwest 2940, Denver Center, from the maintain credible 330. I don't think that should last long. Into the 20s or so, it would be scattered light.
Scope vectors activate. Cut around in front of this guy. Trying to see where the airport is. I feel like it's right here. That'll be coming in from our right.
Delta 2903, contact Denver Center 132.85, 3285. United 639, contact Denver Center 137.65.
Let's go approach flaps 1. We're going to get behind this aircraft that's in front of us here. Might be just left of course. Okay, I see the airport there. And Telluride traffic, TBM 7 Kilo Golf is on a 9-mile final, runway 09, Telluride.
November 450, Denver Center,
I mean, to my right.
Quebec 3110, Denver Center.
Alright, let's kill the autopilot. Yaw dampener off, autopilot off. Down. Lights up. Post lights on.
November 7 Papa Mike, contact Denver Center 118.47.
Yo, I'm still trying to find the airport. And not see the runway. I feel like it's supposed to be right here. I'm literally still not seeing it. Alright, 3 green on the gear. Let's get flight director off. Not have much visual to this windshield. Oh, I see the runway out there. We're a lot more than 7 miles out. Alright, we're out of 750 mode. Landing gear is down. We're getting beat up. Approach flaps, taxi lights on, APER dampener disconnected. Flaps, we'll get that last bit of flaps in. Yeah, I see the runway there.
Touch 15, contact Denver Center 127.02 or 280.
It is bumpy.
Southwest 1541, Denver Center, come and maintain flight level 330. Southwest 1541, just right in your area, 14 to 16, got some moderate top above that pocket of light.
Watch our speed here. Got a tailwind. It's gonna kind of bump us forward here. Gotta get below 122. Full flaps.
November 10 Papa, contact Denver Center 127.65.
Flaps full.
November 6 Lima Hotel, contact Denver approach 128.25.
Getting these waves off the mountaintops here.
Airbus 5454, Denver Center, come and maintain flight level 330.
Telluride traffic, TBM 7 Kilo Golf is short final, runway 9. Telluride. This is disorienting.
Alicia 3158, Denver Center.
Yeah, I think the San Intentions one has a go into reversers. Has its own landing rate thing on it as well, if I'm not mistaken.
November 2353, contact Denver Center 127.02.
Guys, welcome to Telluride. We'll exit at the end. All right, PSI is zeroed out.
Delta 827, Denver Center, out there.
And Telluride traffic, TBM 7 Kilo Golf, clear runway 09er at the end. Telluride. All right, let's get cleaned up. Jeez Louises. Delete.
Okay, last one flying center again.
Let's go landing light out. Oh, that was intense. Lights off, strobes off, landing light off. We'll be engine idle here for a little while. De-icing is off. Inertial separator still on. Bleed air is set to auto. AC is set just fine, but the radar will send it off. Flaps is up. What's our trim at? Let's get retrimmed.
Southwest 2812, Denver Center, Roger.
Alright, about right there. Oxygen supply is off. Said you're supposed to hear a sound whenever we click it off. Is it because I didn't have those on? We'll have to get a refill on it, that's for certain. Alright, other checklist. Alright, we're not going around. Probably should have had that up next though. Let's see. Landing. Yeah, we already got that. We don't need go around. Touch and go. Alright, let's get over here to the stand. Let me see if GSX deciding to work right now. Oh, it is. Sweet. I don't know exactly where that'll put us, but it decided it wants to work. Alright, welcome to Telluride, guys. Cabin is at around, it's a little lower than it's supposed to be. It's got it at 8,000. See where this is having us park. Yeah, we definitely landed with a tailwind. Got many aircraft on the ground out here.
Southwest 4144, Denver Center, coming maintaining audible 330.
Go park with this guy.
Contact at 909, Denver Center, Roger. Delta 363, contact Denver Center 132.85, 3285. Skywest 5454, contact Denver Center 127.65.
Kick that up a little bit too much.
Delta 9
8 Celsius on the ground now. All right, parking brake is set. Taxi light is off. Go ahead and set prop to feather for 15 seconds. Taxi light going off. Strobe lights off. Post lights off. I get these all off. Bleed air to off. Air condition off. Get those all off. Master off.
Lieutenant 3158, Quebec Denver Center 127.02. Delta 957, Denver Center.
An hour and 25 minutes of flight time. Differential pressure is set to 0. We're depressurized. It's getting cool in here. Off. Power lever idle for 1 minute. Prop feather for 15 seconds. Control lever to cut off. Auxiliary boost pump. Alright, cut off. And boost pump to off. Set that to manual. Fuel selector to manual. Tank selector is pull for off. Inertia separator off. Let me get all of these off too. Off. Exterior lights off. Gyro instruments all off. EFIS master off. AP trim master off. Interior lights off. Ignition 2 off. Generator selectors on main. Radio master go off. Source selector off. Crash lever down. Alright, let's shut this down. For some reason, when I reload an aircraft, it doesn't leave this turned off. For some strange reason. Set that to 0. Alright, off. Off. Ooh, I forgot to turn off the master.
Southwest 4953, Denver Center, plug and maintain, level 310.
Off, all the top off. Alright folks, welcome to Telluride. I have to get a refill on this. So for an hour and a half, we burned over less than a quarter or so. Let's turn these off.
Set right 60, Denver Center.
Alright, those are capped. So we landed with 673, 656. There's no difference of can't be more than 15 pounds. I feel like that's maybe close to under 15 pounds. We'll get the chocks on. We'll get engine covers on and that on. And we'll leave external power connected as well. Let's get baggage open. Open. And that is it. Alright, so again, guys, welcome to Telluride. It's a good flight. It was a bumpy as crap approach, if I ever seen one. Very bumpy. But good flight overall, though. I'll take it. It's a very good flight. There's quite a few airplanes landing in here, too, while we were landing in here. Again, beautiful day out here. It's a fun flight. Oh, we got to get the... doesn't put that down. It'd be nice if we put this down whenever whenever you'd open it, say open door. You'd think it would put that down.
Payback 3110, contact Denver Center 132.1, sorry, 132.85, 3285. Hey.
Yeah, I'm not using, I was going to use the GSX one, but we're not going way over there to park with that nonsense. Alright, I think that's going to do it for me on this flight. Let's see, it'll say everything was perfect, which it pretty much was. we'll close that. Let me see. Let me make sure we actually closed. They actually canceled our IFR. They didn't. Well, we'll cancel. We'll close it here. Actually, let's go back over. Let me open it back. Where is it? Oh, we had updated it. Let's just do that. We'll just call them and let them know. Like to cancel IFR. So I think they technically still have us on IFR. Ah, never mind. We'll call it complete. Close. Closing the flight plan on the ground, basically on the website. That's how we're closing that out. That was an hour 34 minutes it counted. But again, this is another freeware scenery from FSTO. If anybody would like to go pick it up. But yeah, TBM flew well. We kind of got well behind the aircraft on the approach, though. I didn't realize we were as close as we were during the approach phase. But yeah, we were coming in hot. We were coming in very hot. We had to do a right 360, come bring it back around, and try to go from there. But other than that, good flight overall. We'll do better on the next one. I'm not sure where we'll go from Telluride here. We may end up going to. I kind of want to go fly to Sedona is where I want to fly to. But we'll see in the nearest of futures of what we'll do there. But other than that, appreciate you guys flying along. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the flight. And if you wasn't here and catch it after the stream, hopefully, again, it's a good flight. Or it was a good flight and you guys enjoyed it. But I think our numbers that I set up for were pretty textbook. I think we got our numbers pretty close on to what the POH was showing for performance and such. But other than that, like I said, I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.
I don't know the rate 50, Travis total cost 10 miles southeast, bound 41 northwestbound, clear jet at 40.